And thank you everybody for coming. Thanks to Brian and Tom and especially Kevin for making this, for rounding out the evening. Anyway, this first bit I'm here in support of my new book, The Psychedelic Everest, which has been published on the Journal of Experimental Fiction of Chicago. Same as the first book. But this thing just came out, which is kind of cool. It's called The Eighth Madness, and it's an anthology compiled by my friend Dominic Ward. It's called Dirt Heart Pharmacy Press, and this just came out. So it's been a while since I've seen it, but I'll read something from it until it gets old or until it fills me out. Okay, at the time of publication, it was called On the Shoulders of Madness. Here we go, and tulips and love and sweetness, and doves, my, the buzz gets you and lies down beneath the blankets with you, and then here she comes again and stops in midair like a helicopter bug like you've never seen. Oh my, this place sure is a mess, coming in low and aloft with finesse bows and banana peels and concession stands, and a morphing hoop from which nothing much comes, but does not give up all the same post-war and mint and dollar store laundry detergent, a miss a flood, a miss, a dud. And whoops, here goes the best. The bloody smoke on which we choke, fuck, for heaven's sake, and not to get excited, please bring me back, she said at Caffeine Dreams, and I write from them. Okay, that'll be good for that. And then here's the new book. Psychedelic Everest. First time I've ever read from this. This is how it starts. She wraps herself like a manila folder does files, or Billie Holiday with a long-sleeved black dress to hide her tracks. In the sunshine, she twirls a black antique umbrella over her shoulder. It has a bamboo handle with ivory inlay. I've seen where she lives, a 1950s retirement tower in South Omaha, just beside Interstate 80. My initial guess was that her name was either Margaret or Joan or June, and I've never seen her wear the same dress twice, and I've seen her dozens of times, but that is not what gives her away as a madwoman. What gives her away is her lipstick, like someone painted a red mustache on a can of Pepsi Blue Ribbon beer. A steel one with the old-style peel tabs that look like robot tongues. So this is cool because the robot tongues. I've been doing polls with my friends, and I'm searching for a working title for my third book. So he's going to release my third book here, the Dirt Heart Pharmacy Press. So hopefully late 16, early 17, it'll be coming out. But I was looking for a working title, and I thought I don't have anything. All I had was Pussy Acid.
Pretty good.
Which was a group of us who used to improvise music in high school when the parents were out of town. Before we could play our instruments or anything like that. But yeah, so Robot Tongues. Everyone says Robot Tongues, so that's the working title for what we got going on. I'm happy. I'm so happy. And this new one here is kind of a psychedelic love story, neurotic love story, and just for FYI, the narrator doesn't have a name, but his name is Everest, and he's called Psychedelic Everest. His friends call him that. If I were president, watermelons, as helmets, would be the only clothing allowed between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Unless you're having sex, which means you have to wear 2 watermelons, one on each foot, and paint yourself midnight blue so no one can see you in the forest, where all the fucking would be going on, and only at night. Bob Denver would sing John Denver songs at the wedding, and we'd invest enough money to make sure we can clone Dear Bob, and to be safe, anybody who resembles him. All dancing must be done on all fours and resemble yoga. performed while the body shakes spasmodically and the whole moment passes like tar through a French press. It's rewarding. It's rewarding. It's so rewarding. Okay, let's keep going. Turns out, June is her name. Okay, I must say now. The next time June walks by, not July or August, but June. The next time she walks by, I'm going to ask her if she would like to maybe stick to her schedule a bit more. You never see this woman in the winter, and only on select days and other seasons, as of late. What is your deal with the cold, dear madwoman June? Are you askance to the shades of silver clouds which mimic the winter cold like a barcode does a bag of chips? My. Hey, June. You want to get a dog or a lobster or something so we have a reason to walk in the winter? That'd be nice, right? Ho! Say that when you get up to get rid of the cobwebs. By the way, take more than a dusting to get rid of. You have to roll them on the end of the broom and peel them off the bristles, and they stick to your hand. It seems like the web has the upper hand, now that I can think of it. Maybe the secret is in the soup. Which came first, chicken noodle soup or egg drop soup? Now I must... Yeah, I wrote that. So if you're a best man and you're gonna get married, or no, if you're a husband, if you're a dude, you want to get married, then you can have me write some jokes for your wedding. But the people over 60 won't get them because there's gonna be a lot of references to Burning Man and stuff like that. I made a few notes just last night to figure out what's going on. The next member of my team is an old madman comrade who lived in my basement until he went to another level. Now he has a room of his own with an ashtray typically drowned with wild horse cigarette butts on a wooden nightstand, which he found out back in the alley, a passageway marked by overgrown crimson stargazer lilies. Back in his room, an unnamed Douglas Copeland book sits beneath a fine-tooth comb. A Hustler magazine sits huddled upon a heap of thrift store clothing by the bed. His enclave grotto is a sunroom on the second floor of a halfway house in Midtown Omaha. The sun shines in on him as he walks naked down the hall, towel drying his madman's hair. He is a brilliant poet, cream of the crop. He lies in bed at night making sound poetry, something he picked up somewhere, just lip, tongue, and guttural jowl sounds, no words. For this it is 1994. When I found him that day, he was experiencing visual hallucinations in the basement. My dad was just here. Huh? No one's here. Then one day I returned from work and my buddy was being arrested for assaulting a man in the front yard of Highland Park. He had this Mexican dude in a headlock and said he was protecting the neighbor's house. I explained to the cop my roommate was off his meds and they let him go. We had a translator apologize to the man who was running my comrade's episode, and I haven't seen my friend in 10 years. He's caught and fucked in a system of medications and no orthomolecular medicine conspiracy crap, but since he's able to put a perfectly supple dude in a headlock, I'm putting him on as my go-to man for deputy. And then once in a while I just drop a few advertisements. Naked Transistors. If this is you, this is your new band. Please send me a vinyl-only LP and I'll trade you for a book and let you do the soundtrack to my track. And you do the soundtrack to my acceptance speech at ? Here's your track list for the album. Blue Bulbs, an improv debacle, Silly Fingers, a noisy hip-hop hybrid, 10 minutes, and Les's Next Move, a 20-minute guitar minimalist drone with the lyrics over and over again. Serotonin, keep it flowing, and grease the machine with dopamine. Again and again. Okay, our short lists are forming, and we've got the music in the works for our acceptance party. So we'll move on to some other business and we'll have things rolling. basically what's happening is there's an insane chick and an insane dude. They're locking minds together and they're trying to start some sort of organization to promote themselves as artists and pay their own bills, essentially. And so it jumps around a lot, but hopefully. Stoned as your sunset, blinking as your star, I have eyes for you. When I bought the soap, I didn't know it would smell of your perfume. The golden rings and diamonds I could never afford you, for with me you will not be the richest woman at the party. My affection for you stings my chemical brain. The pleasure centers aloft in a bacchanal party, toasting in Vietnamese. Oh! You are a tough woman, a real rock of a woman, someone families are built around, someone from which love cannot hide. Stoned midnight songs. Uh-oh. I think a little bit of the Doors kind of seeped in on that one. Might have to try and edit it. Too late for that.
Cease and desist.
Little did we know that our mutual madness would save our ass, bring us in, touch us all over, love us complete. But we see, you see, that the only way we can win is if we transcend the insanity altogether, leave it behind and let it rot and be food for invisible scavengers of our heart's creation, another piece of our imagination. I'll just read a bit more and then we can open it up to a Q&A. Maybe if anybody's interested, or see here. And this is when the narrator switches. The narrator is no longer Everest, the dude. In this next section, or just paragraph rather, his girlfriend / wife. This is her speaking now. Madness, madness. Most will never know. Madness. Most will never know the field. Most will never get that elevated sense of being, instead being forced to live without ever having to experience madness. Those poor souls, like Bukowski said. And how should we treat those fools, subjected to sanity every day of their lives? Should we shun them when they try to gain access to the madness inspiration? Should we position their ideas of madness in a stadium of onlookers, overseeing but not being able to take part in the festivities? Damn right. To hell with the same masses. They have no bearing on anything but the commodity of reality. A reality where everything is in perpetual stasis, where nothing really happens at all. Where their lives are, I used this word and I'm not sure how to pronounce it, extended? Where their lives are extended from their very perch in the ballroom. Like a wraith on the dance floor, not allowed to take part in the dance. The madness, the Aurorian bloom of consciousness, the nexus of love. This is a true story. This could be a science experiment for the youngsters. When my grandfather died, I inherited a large spherical terrarium. I placed it before the front windows in the living room and watered it once a week. It was humid in there. The plastic would collect moisture, small droplets of water that stuck to the insides of this bulbous microcosm. So the story goes, one day I saw a housefly stuck in the terrarium. I decided it would be cool to keep this little guy alive, so I put a wet sponge and some zested crackers in there to sustain him. After a few weeks, this one housefly had turned into a small insect army of maybe 4 or 5 dozen flies. I was careful not to let the little guys out of there. There were quite a few. Now I'm not exactly sure why, but soon the flies all died, and so did the one screen plush fauna. I had my own little homemade apocalypse in there. I took the terrarium and smashed it out back in the yard. I thought, God, I hope God is a better man than now.